This Pride Month, Sword and Key is raising money for Lambda Legal Defense and Education Fund. Lambda Legal Defense and Education Fund works to defend and achieve full recognition of the civil rights of queer people and everyone living with HIV in the United States. Their efforts focus on impact, litigation, education, and public policy work. For over 50 years, they have fought and won landmark legal cases, and even now have 6 active cases against the current administration. Sword and Key is raising money alongside their official Tiltify fundraiser, which means every dollar donated will be matched up to $150,000. There are also other ways to help: sharing the events, boosting posts, or even looking into volunteering your time with the organization. Every little bit helps.
Okay, hi. Ahoy, welcome. Welcome to the finale of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. This is a game from Black Cats Gaming. We have been playing it for 4 weeks as of now, and we get to decide today if this doomed question mark crew will make it off of the Isle of the Damned. But before all of that, I do want to say that I am Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns. I am joined again by this very lovely crew. Hopefully not for the last time, but we'll see. It's a game about Cthulhu. We'll leave it there. This is a Sword and Key game. This also is a game that is in support of Lambda Legal. Lambda Legal Defense Fund, if you just watch the intro there, has said so much better than how I could, but it is a really important organization at all times, especially now. You can donate at any time through the Tiltify link, and if you do, you get to spice up your game a little bit if you hit those certain dollar amounts with your donations. It's never required, it's always appreciated, but your money goes towards a great cause, and like I said, you get to spice things up for our finale. We also, thanks to Black Cats Gaming, are going to be doing a giveaway for a free PDF copy of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. So we're going to start that at our break time, where our streams typically run about 3 hours. So at the hour-and-a-half mark, roughly right around there, we will have a giveaway start, and then we will announce the winner at the very end. And then I get to send you a PDF copy if you are the winner. Congratulations to our 3 winners so far, who have been Ren, Tangent, and Val. So I'm looking forward to see who wins this one. You can find all of Sword and Key's links at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find links to donate to Lambda Legal, as well as any of our other charitable organizations. You can find links to some of our affiliates. We've got some really great affiliates like Long Dog Dice. Jen makes incredible dice sets, and you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. Eldritch Foundry makes custom minis, and you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there. And we're also affiliates with Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood and Griffin Saddleback books, and you know who Hit Point Press is. You do. We have an affiliate code, and you can use that if you're going to be shopping from them. We also, on our beacons, have links to our Discord and our socials. If you check out our Discord, there's actually an application open right now for a game that Mare will be running. It is a Magnus Archives TTRPG from Monty Cook. So our applications always go live on our Discord before they go to socials. It will be posted to socials soon, but do yourself a favor. Hang out on our Discord, chat with cool folks about cool things, and get first dibs at our applications. Lots of other stuff on the beacons. I'll talk about more of those links later, but I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves and get into this story. So, Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abhishek Batange. I use he, him pronouns. I will be playing Kayn, who is our very tired, very just done with everything. Somehow the only competent person on the team given the last fight. I'm sorry. Let Kayn do the recap, and he'll explain why. So, yeah. But he's just done with everything right now. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Great energy to go into the finale with. Next up, we have Dex.
Hi, I'm Dex. I use she, her pronouns. Sorry. I'll be playing Lucy, the captain, who also uses she, her pronouns. And while I am moderately offended at Kayn's comment, he is absolutely right.
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have Val.
Well, hi, me. My name is Val. My pronouns are she, they, and I will be playing Araceli, pronouns they, them, who they might be tired of healing everybody and jumping into the deep abyss and making sure people don't die. And there's also still a cursed spot on their hand, and I'm sure it'll be fine for them today.
just a lot going on. So it's
It's
just
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
fine.
And then last but absolutely not least, and a special thank you for the amazing art that you can see on your screen, we have Amaya.
I am Amaya, and I play Naomi, she, her, the scoundrel of the group currently missing in action.
Well, I'm sure we'll be able to find her. But yes, Amaya is an absolutely incredible artist, as you can see, and did this just for fun, I guess.
I
But
was in an
it's
airport for
amazing.
like 4 hours.
Yeah, well, hell yeah, it's amazing. So we couldn't not feature that, and absolutely love the depictions of each of the characters. I find them to be very honest depictions, and I don't know how much input you got from players, but it's just very good. Okay, well, we do have a recap. So, Abhishek, I believe you said that Kayn would be doing that. So, by all means, the floor is yours.
All right, fine, if I have to. Well, we set off from port after getting our new crew members, some of whom look all right, I guess. We don't know how useful they'll really be, but they're lively, they're cool, I guess. Spent time sailing the seas, going toward the island. It's great. Storm rolls in, which is lovely. So yeah. Then all of a sudden, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Yeah, after the storm rolls in, somebody crashed into the ship. It was really bad. It wasn't great. One of our crew members went to go over to check, and he got, for lack of a better word, yoinked. I believe was yeeted. I believe was the right word we used. Yeah, yeeted. He got yeeted off the ship and to a very watery grave. We later come to find out these are ship eaters that have somehow found our ship and are eating it, for lack of a better word. We put up a brave fight. We're fighting them off. Lucy gets grabbed a couple times, which, come on, Cap. I mean, like... But, yeah. We beat him in the end, but, unfortunately, as we beat the last one, Lucy, was still grabbed by it and was also pulled into a watery deck. Araceli, for reasons that I'm sure were perfectly logical, jumped into the fray to save our captain, which is a very admirable thing to do, but you left me all alone with the crew that is dying to save the ship, which I did, by the way, just letting you all know. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, eventually, yeah, Araceli rescues Lucy. It's great. They come back up, and all is well, I think. I don't know. Yeah, aside from I think the mermaid bargain, I don't know exactly how that one worked, but they did that. Soon enough, we keep going. We make it through. We plug the hole and stop ourselves from sinking, and head off towards the Isle of the Damned once again. And we eventually find it, thanks to me in the crow's nest with Guppy. Yeah, we find the Isle of the Damned, and we pass through a giant rain wall. And now here we are.
Absolutely. Very well recapped. Please enjoy your one reroll, and let's go ahead and jump back into things. So, as described, the unnamed ship, the TBD, has passed through this seemingly endless storm and come to what appears to be the eye of the storm itself, passing beyond this near waterfall of deluge and into these calm cerulean passageways that lead towards this island. The island itself seemingly comprised of a massive gargantuan eldritch skeleton. The features of the island itself being formed into the rib cage, the spine, the skull of this long, seemingly deceased creature. And as the remaining members of the crew took to launches, noting that there were humanoid figures moving about on the island in different places, we're going to cut away to see our lost crewmate, Naomi. Naomi, you went into a strange tent not that long ago. It's hard to tell. You haven't seen you haven't seen a lot of immediate daylight. From where you are, you've been able to see that, light does change. You can see that there is sunlight at the far mouth of what appears to be this cave. You can see that it does shift to night, to morning, to day, to evening, to night again. And so you've estimated that you've been here for maybe a week, maybe a week and a half. It's also tough because the consciousness rolls in and out. And so why don't you tell me what has been going on with Naomi? What has been going through her mind, and we can kind of set up maybe the situation that has found herself in.
I'm guessing she's like trapped somewhere.
Yeah, let's set up that's actually a good point. So Naomi was in this cave. She was grabbed by numerous hands, maybe, question mark. Didn't really see what or who they could have belonged to. It was very dark. You were in, an area that was, you could feel the air kind of pressed around you, damp. You could hear dripping noises, cold rock otherwise. Things went black for a little while, and when you came to, you were surrounded by other people in what appears to be a makeshift pen of sorts. It's large enough to pace around, maybe 30 feet on its longest side, and with you are 20 other individuals, presumably sailors, is how you're kind of picking up immediately, as their style of dress. Various different languages are going around. You're picking up on German, there's Spanish, Dutch, even a few English speakers as well. But yeah, a variety of different peoples, of different colors that they're wearing, indicating that some of these people might have been pirates, but some of these people might be from what remains of more, country or imperially aligned navies. So coming to with that, what do you think is the first thing that that Naomi would be up to?
In the beginning, Naomi is classic Naomi as soon as she sees that there's other people around, and she's trying to make conversation, cracking jokes, trying to kind of figure out what's going on, maybe even trying to play games, just being classic her. But I think the longer it goes on, and she doesn't speak the same language as most of these people, but the vibe is so hopeless. Everyone has just kind of accepted that this is all that there is, and over the days she's talking less and less, and then I think by the end she is looking a lot like they are.
Yeah, and there are some pretty haggard looking people in here. Some a little better than others, but as far as you can tell, people have been here for quite some time. Let's go ahead, let's do kind of your looking around check. So let's do an accuracy check for this, just to see kind of what you pick up immediately, because it is still dark in here.
For that. Nope. That will be 12, 13, 14. That's a 20.
Great. That's pretty good. Okay. Looking around, you originally presumed you were in a cave. There's a lot of moisture in the air. You can see that there is rocky structure. What you notice is that this pen that you're in, it's like a cage of sorts. It has bars that seem to wrap downwards, and you can see that they are wrapped in vines, but they're not exactly wooden in structure. It's a strange material that you're not super familiar with at first, as you're trying to kind of just get your bearings, look around at all these people. It's somewhat porous, and you assume that it's rock at first. But the more and more you look at it, it seems to be bone, maybe? The bars are narrow enough that you can't easily pass through them. And the second that you even get the thought of maybe you could squeeze through them, that's when you see your assumed jailers as a skeletal individual, a little bit of what used to be flesh hanging from different parts, ragged clothing, rattles by, a rusty sword in a scabbard at their hip. And as they do, they look over. You can see that there's no light behind the sockets of where the eyes once were, and it just seems to be an ambulatory skeleton of sorts. And as you look out now, a little bit of light coming in from your far left to where you think that that's where the mouth of the cave is, and it does give off sunlight there. You can see that there is a flow of water that leads in to this cave area where you are. It leads through almost like a stream, and it smells brackish. Otherwise, the ground around you is sandy. There's some fern plants here and there, maybe getting just enough sunlight to grow in this area. You see that there are other beings as well. Some of them less skeletal looking, but kind of working their way there. Those that do have fleshier bits, you can see that their skin is riddled with black veins, very much like those that you saw on the unfortunate sailor and that you have recently seen on Araceli. But they cover their bodies, and you can see that their eyes are leaking this ink-like substance, their mouths are leaking this ink-like substance, and they are husks of themselves. There are others as well that seem to be doing a little bit better health-wise, but not so great structure-wise, as you can see that there are manglers and other fish-like people here. Everyone here seems to be subject to various types of mutation or alteration in one way or another, except those people that are within your pen. And you're not exactly sure what your purpose is for a day or two. But that's when a few of the skeletons pull the bars somewhat to the side. You're not exactly... It almost seems arcane in the way that they shift their way in, and they grab a sailor almost at random. All of the other sailors move back, perhaps instinctually you move back with them, and there's one sailor who was sleeping in the sand, and they're able to grab him and rip him from the sand and pull him screaming back towards further away into the cave, into the dark. And that screaming goes on for quite some time before it inevitably stops. That's been your experience. Every few days, another sailor gets grabbed. I think the other thing that you notice, and it maybe takes a day or two to really note it at first, because they're not as obvious, but part of the structure, part of like grown into the rock around you, you notice that there are ships, large ships, almost petrified in the way the wood has become almost stone-like. But some of them also seem much more recent, and you can see that there are flags of Jolly Rogers, of various nations. You can see that the sails are wearing away. You see a variety of names of ships as well. You can see that there are ships like the Blue Bishop, the Serpentine Whisper, the Wyvern, the Highland Hound, and you're kind of piecing these together. These are probably coming from all over, really. Not necessarily ships that you would easily recognize the name of, although maybe you would. Maybe you would have seen sailors from the Spanish Lady and in port with the Brethren Court, but it would have been a long time ago. So with that in mind, what is Naomi kind of like feeling as the days wear on? Food, question mark, is provided. Sustenance is somewhat provided, but the fruit is partially rotten when it's brought. There is very questionable meat that you're not exactly sure of the origin of, and also there's very rarely enough to go around to the sailors that are also here. So with all that information, which I know is a lot, what is Naomi's next steps?
I think just always kind of passively listening to someone horrifically screaming in the background would really wear on somebody.
Sure.
And I think she goes through phases of like seeing all these different ships. She goes through phases of desperately wishing that the TBD and the crew will arrive, to desperately hoping they never do, because they will be the next ship in this weird amalgamation.
Sure. Okay. The days pass on. Other sailors are grabbed. I will note that, Naomi, you've been disarmed of any weapons, of any, like, specific items that you might have. You do still have your Quetzal feather. That was not taken off of your person.
I didn't know I had one.
I think you
that's
took one
mine.
when you... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was
Araceli
Araceli.
has... I apologize. I think my notes were wrong on that. Okay. Araceli has a Quetzal feather.
It's in their hair. I drew it.
Yeah. I was like,
She
hold
did.
on.
Okay. Well, never mind. Would you make any attempt to escape? Any attempt to meet any of your other sailors? What occupies your time besides the
horrors?
the horrors? Yeah, the horrors that surround you.
The first couple of days, absolutely. She's talking to people, trying to assess the situation, what they know, trying to squeeze through the bars. It's a lot of that at first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She's probably annoying a lot of people, as she does.
Let's take a look here, because I think squeezing through the bars might garner you some attention.
Yeah. She's also like trying to talk to the guards. Like when she first got taken, she's like, "What's your name?" She's doing like that again. What's your deal? Why do you look like that?
Okay, I think that's fun. Let's call this a savvy roll, because I don't think squeezing through the bars is going to be a physical possibility at this point. But there is definitely one of the more I can't think of a good word. The first word I thought of was juicy, and then the second one was fleshy. There's one of the more constituted individuals. Again, marked with the black lightning-like veins, but not as thoroughly corrupted, perhaps, as some of the others. And you can see that it appears as a young European Caucasian man, sandy blonde hair, a little bit of scruff. One of his eyes is kind of blackening just a little bit as he turns to look at you. What are you doing? Are you like reaching through the bars? Are you like snapping your fingers? How are you trying to get his attention?
I think she's like holding onto the bars, like trying to lean against them all casually and be like, "Hello."
Okay.
What's your
Go
name?
ahead and give me a savvy roll.
Uh, 21. Well, no, 20.
20. Okay.
She's just so likable.
Terribly so. Perhaps to a fault. This young man walks over. Got a bold one then, do we?
Absolutely. So, is this what happens to everyone when they get the cool tattoo? It he just kind of gets cooler? Because this is pretty cool.
You know, I don't know if you're giving me snark or not, but I didn't appreciate the gift when I first got it. And a bit of advice for someone as, well, bold as yourself. Don't fight it. It's not worth it. It's going to happen anyway. And if you embrace the gift, then this gets to be home. And if you don't, then it gets to be your grave. What's your name?
Naomi. What's yours?
Naomi, my name is Sanford. It is... Well, it remains to be seen how it is to meet you, but I'm hoping that this will be fortuitous for us both.
I mean, as long as I don't turn into, like, the fish people, that would be not ideal.
Why not?
I don't want to be a fish person.
Why not?
I think I'm pretty cute the way I am.
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Naomi. And if the beholder happens to be a fish person, then you're rather unfortunate.
I feel like you're just saying that because you're not a fish person. You got lucky.
I'm on my way. And you see that he puts a
damn.
hand up on the bars and his fingers have started to web. That is the gift, Naomi. You can accept it, or you can, and he gestures over to one of the skeletons, you cannot. Either way, you're never leaving this place. So you, were I in your shoes, I should say, should accept it. Embrace it.
What did you say your name was again?
Sanford.
Sanford. I think you'll come to learn pretty quickly, Sanford. I am not known for doing as I am told.
And I think that's why you will make one of the best of us. Naomi, let's see. I'm gonna do a melee attack against your evasion.
Okay.
All right. That is a. Why aren't you working? There we go. That is a 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You said you were kind of leaning up against the bars?
Yeah.
In like a very swift movement, his other hand, he has one hand that's kind of leaning up, that's the webbed-fingered one. In his other hand, he grabs one of those fragments, one of those pieces that went into Araceli's hand, and he jabs it into your palm.
Cool. Oh no. We add to the curse counter.
I think life is all about choices. And you get to make a very important one now. But like I said, you're never leaving this island. And he pushes off of the bars and turns around, and he just like makes a little wave with the webbed fingered hand. See you around, Naomi.
Hushu turns to the rest of the prisoners to see if they have any reaction to seeing now that she has the curse.
All of them have like gone as far back into the cell, essentially away from you as possible. You see a few of them make like religious signs with their, either, sign the cross, something similar to that. Some of them might even have medallions of saints or arcane entities on them. They are trying to abjure without having access to magic, a distance from you.
She's like, ha, what is this, elementary school? Just kidding, I can't read. She just goes and finds a corner.
The days pass, and those black veins extend a little bit more each and every day. Until it's been about a week and a half. Let's cut over to the rest of our crew now. You all have boarded the launches and have taken to rowing towards the Isle of the Damned. How are you all preparing? What are you all going to do beforehand, during, and then once you get to the island as well? Anything you all would be up to?
I think aside from like preparing for the worst, like just generally like preparing for any untoward situation or like combat or like, you know, having to beat people off with a stick, like because he has a stick, so he will. I think Kayn will climb up to the crow's nest, just double check to see if he can see anything else, and also before they head off, he will like grab Guppy and bring him with him.
Okay. Yeah, Guppy is taking a nap, and Guppy goes, wow, wow,
Get up, Furball. Let's go.
wow. And Guppy like goes from like flat on its back and just hops onto all fours and just ha, and goes scuttling towards the launches.
Never understand that one, I swear to God. But I think he'll just, aside from that, just kind of make his way to the launches and just be ready.
Okay. All right. Anything Lucy or Araceli would like to do?
Sharpening my blades.
Okay.
Making sure
They are
everybody's
sharpened.
healed up, ready to go. I think maybe they're also checking their curse hasn't expanded anymore. Like they're kind of still hyper focused on that, understandably, given what that's gonna turn into. That they don't know, but I know.
Yeah. Okay. You all board the ships, the launches, your longboats, rowboats, bunch of terminology for it. How many sailors are you taking with you? A ship of your size would reasonably have 2 launches that could accommodate probably 10 people each. So are you taking like a maximum amount of crew onto the island, or are you taking one boat in the hopes to be quiet about this?
Captain.
I'm
Captain?
thinking. How many people do we need to leave with the ship?
You 3 could row a boat gently down that stream. How merrily you would go, that's not for me to say. But it's important to remember that life is a dream, and dreams can also be nightmares.
God damn it.
So,
Jared.
yes, you would only need. I mean, technically, you only need one person really to row the boat, to row one of the launches. So the 3
No,
of
I
you
meant
could.
the ship.
Oh, the ship. I
I meant the ship. Yeah.
I misunderstood. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
So
I was like,
for
wow, that's very fanciful of you to say that the 3 of us could get that big ship.
actually, a sloop, 3 people could reasonably sail a sloop.
Okay.
You really only need one person to steer. You need somebody to man the ropes, and once the sails are tied down, they're pretty great. In a storm, you definitely want more than just 3, but you could get out of port with 2 to 3 people easily. If you are going to be sailing back in the storm you just came through, you'd probably, and this would be straining it, because this would not allow for shifts, but this would allow for you all could sail successfully without having to worry about too much else besides just exhaustion. Probably 10 people tops. And 10 people even would allow a few people to switch out here or there. Full complement, you've got, 20, 25. I think your crew's sitting a little bit less than that right now. But
21 to be exact, if my count
21,
is-
yeah.
Well, 20 if you don't count Naomi.
Right. So, I mean, you've got a full complement of crew. You could lose about half your crew and still sail your ship.
I'm going to leave 5 on the ship. And I will
Okay.
take the rest.
Okay.
And I will instruct the 5 that we give us 2 days. And if in 2 days nobody comes for the ship, then they are free to leave with their skins.
They nod solemnly. Aye, Captain. We'll hope you come back.
And I think actually, now that I think about it, while all the rest of the crew members are getting the longboats ready to go, I will pull Araceli and Kayn aside, and I will sit there, and I will have Pig sitting on my shoulder, almost like a parrot. And I will look them both very serious-like and say, "Alright, now, assuming we can get Naomi out of here, we have 2 days, or those bastards are going to leave without us. Alright? Now, if we can't get Naomi, if we can't fix your problem, Araceli, you know what? Let's not think so pessimistic about it. If we can't get Naomi, but we can get your carts fixed, if I don't make it, it's up to the two of you to get the thing back to the Brethren Court, right?
Is that the new ship name? The Thing?
For now.
Is it clobbering time?
No, this is more John Carpenter's.
You're right.
Yeah.
So if something were to happen, those are my last orders as captain. You got it.
Understood. But I have a counter order, suggestion, question. I'm not the captain. If you can get Naomi, and Naomi's safe, but you can't fix my curse, you leave without me.
You watch as I lift my hat, put Pig under it, and before I turn heels and head to the longboats, I say, "I'll take it under consideration."
Thank you, Captain.
Boarding launches then. Let's see, you're leaving 5, you had 21, so 16 sailors.
15.
Oh, that's right. Naomi was the 21. You're right. So,
okay.
yes, 15 sailors.
Math.
You take your 15 sailors, split them up between the 2 launches, and you drop into the water. I suppose the boats would probably drop before you did. I think it's pretty unpleasant to go down with them. But climbing down the ladders into them, then you would see that the water is that crystalline Caribbean blue, like the kind of stuff you see in sandals commercials. It's just like that super clear sea to the bottom, tropical fish, coral all around. It is paradise here. At least it would be if it weren't for the looming skeleton of some colossal being that's long ago fallen here, and an island that seems to be comprised of its remains. The sailors start to row towards the island steadily. There's not really any hiding here. You're in open water. There's no rock formations to hide behind. It's clear skies above. There's not even a cloud in the sky in this eye of the storm. It is just almost noon, sun beating down, that warmth that you haven't felt for weeks now. It takes a little bit of time, not too long, but perhaps what feels like an eternity of waiting and anticipation and uncertainty before your rowboats crest into the sandy shores, this white golden sand. And as you look around, there are tropical plants, large palm trees, very verdant area all about you, tall grass, a little bit distant from the shore itself. Let's go ahead and do accuracy rolls real quick for you 3.
Oh boy, I'm bad at this.
Let's see.
just want the audience to know I have a cat in my dice tray.
That's really
Real
nice. My
help.
cat just farted and it smells terrible.
Oh no.
She's sleep farting. It's awful.
Oh.
It might have been the dog actually. I don't want to pin that on her.
No, too late. You already did it.
I might have. Yeah, they're both around. It could be either of them.
We're gonna hope that whatever dice I'm randomly picking out of my thing, because I have to fish around for d6s.
Yeah, you gotta fish the cat. Mary, it was Ida. Ida is sleeping right over here. She's very cute, but she does sleep too sometimes. So.
Sorry, Senna. But Derek has asked for a roll, so I had to get some
I'm
dice.
so sorry, Senna. You should meow. You should do something about it.
She just went.
Mm.
And the worst part is you can't even see her on stream. She's like just out of frame on the camera.
Yeah, she's so close.
She's sitting
Yeah.
like right here. See what I can find that I can use as a substitute dice tray. Also, sorry for the narration. My bad. I'm not trying to.
Oh, it's great. We love the cat dice roll
Mhm.
narration.
Okay. Val, what did you get for Araceli?
14.
Okay. Abhishek, what about Kayn?
Kayn got a 22.
Which is very nice. And Dex?
I got an 18.
Okay. Araceli, I'm going to say a little bit lower. Not bad. 14 is definitely not a bad roll. I think there is something that jolts in your system a little bit when your feet touch the sand. When your boots crunch into the sand for the first time, it feels like an anchor has dropped in your soul. You feel so content and so placed on this island. The veins, the black veins, stretch a little bit more down your arm, but it doesn't concern you because it is grounding in a way that you have felt so like distant from anything that has been solid or true. But this place is true, and perhaps those thoughts give you comfort, or perhaps they are deeply unsettling. I leave that to you, but that is the intrusive thought that you can embrace or push away.
Oh, absolutely pushing away. I'm used to intrusive thoughts being funky compared to the rest of my thinky thoughts, so...
Yeah. There's something that is really trying to like nudge at your brain and be like, this is the place. This is where you stay. Why are you fighting this? Why do you want to be unhappy so badly? Just let yourself be happy for once. This place is paradise. Look around, and as you do, you see that blue sky, those clear blue waters, that golden sand. It is warm here. It is pleasant here. It smells nice. There are tropical flowers that are giving off this very sweet aroma, and you don't see anything else that would give you any sort of pause or hesitation. That's not to say the rest of you don't, because you absolutely fucking do. So Dax, what Lucy sees are footprints. They're footprints in the sand. They seem to lead in both directions, to the left and right of this beach, ahead into the jungled area as well. You can even look up and see like the cliffside and see part of the ribcage extending out from it. And again, it's wider than your mast, this part of the ribcage. It's absolutely massive. And again, seems to be somewhat fossilized, petrified in a way that it is almost identical to the stone, but identifiable by its more specifically semi-porous nature. Abhishek, what Kayn notices is that far into the jungle itself, you can see little flickers of light that you would probably identify as firelight of some sort. And that firelight seems to snuff as you look out towards it, and you see a shadowy figure move amongst the greenery and kind of disappear into it. And you also notice the footsteps, or the footprints rather. The rest of your sailors get off of the longboats and kind of just are looking around. A few of them draw their blades, and they look to you three. Captain, what is the mission here? What are orders?
First and foremost, we have a missing crew member who's been taken to this island. Second, if we can potentially defeat the creature that's kept her and who knows however many power souls prisoner, then whatever treasure we find for you is ours. But first, we gotta save someone's skin first. Understood?
Aye, Captain. We understand. Save and then treasure. Can do. Right, lads? And they'll just nod. If you hear a couple of them go, I'd rather just the treasure first, but yeah, that, I understand.
But you can't leave with treasure if there's still gonna be folks here to stop you. Don't you think?
That logic is quite sound, Captain. We are all of one singular mind and in agreement.
That explains a lot. All right, so here we go. Tie up the ships, and then we'll be gonna head in, and we're gonna take it nice and slow. All right.
A few of
And
them
then
immediately go to go for it.
Yeah. No. Go say what you're gonna say first.
No, that's they do what you said to do and prepare to follow.
And I will turn to Araceli and say, is anything calling to you? Any particular direction that we should go to take care of your problem?
I don't know, is it?
What was the question? Is anything changing with your condition? Was that the question?
Anything calling
Anything
to me.
pulling. Yeah.
Oh, anything calling or pulling? More just the island itself. Let's do
Can I also
So-
like listen to the wind as a Windcaller?
for sure. Yeah, I was gonna say to get something else. Let's do a roll for this. So since you are listening to the wind, let's probably call this abjure. Since you are tapping into your magical nature.
I maxed out my abjure. It's 5 now. Please let me have
Great.
Go.
the one trick pony. That's a 6, 5, 3, 1, and then +5 on the abjure.
Okay.
20.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you're listening to the wind, trying to feel like that anchor has pulled you here, is the chain of it being drawn anywhere else? You hear the wind give you several words. The first one is, here we go. Run, leave, flee. Damned, devour. You must be consumed.
Well, that nothing good from the wind's kind of. That's not very. Shit. I have nothing for you. This place is not. Yeah.
I think one last thing you get is fear the embrace.
Don't worry, I fear that already.
Hugs are bad.
They're a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
Physical
Gotta ask
affection,
first.
PDA, push off.
Illegal.
Araceli's one of those people who's just like, I don't do. Little pat on the shoulder will suffice. Thank you.
Yeah, my mom actually has a little pin that she wears every day. It's a cactus pin. It says no hugs, and I really respect that. Yeah. It's okay not to.
Sometimes no hugs is good. That's fine.
Yeah. The sensory thing. So yes, looking around, hearing that call to you, perhaps a little distracting, I would say. I'll leave it to you how you would interpret it. If you would like GM assistance with interpretation, we can do an additional roll for that.
I mean, I would interpret it, or Araceli would interpret it as bad and run. But that's not helpful. But I do want like a direction on where to go further in.
Sure. Let's call this a studies roll. You've gotten some omens. Here's where you can try to apply them to what you know.
Let me remember what my studies. Oh, my studies are great. They're great. Okay. That's 2 5s, 6, 3 plus 3. Yeah.
Okay, so 14. You said 5, 6 plus 3,
2
or
5s.
oh, 2 5s, 16. So then 19.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. What I would say, the wind was of many minds on this one. The first ones were like, "What the fuck are you doing here? What? Go now!" And then there was like this immediate. The wind essentially went through the several stages of grief and finally got to acceptance of like, "Oh, they ain't leaving, so we might as well just give them a hint." If you were to be devoured, that might mean to go inside the skull, the mouth cave of it. That is, I think, the most applicable literal interpretation that you could do here, aside from maybe some more horrific, we're not going to succeed, this is going to get into some lines and veils shit that we don't have to tap into in this game. So I think that would be the interpretation that you might have with this little voice in your head.
And we're how far from the mouth? We're fairly close to it, yeah.
You can be. You all could row up wherever you would like. I didn't know how close to the mouth. You could technically row into the mouth of the cave if you would like. So if you guys want to retcon that, you absolutely can.
Do we want to retcon?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Row into the mouth. Yay.
Okay. Rowing into the mouth of the cave then. It darkens pretty quickly. I'm going to carry over those accuracy rolls, considering you all will get different information as you're rowing up. As you would be rowing closer, Araceli, you get all that info. Lucy and Kayn, however, you would see that there are humanoid creatures that are kind of walking around inside of the cave mouth as you're getting closer and closer. Would that deter you anyway, or would you continue on?
How many?
There are, let's see. You can see at least 9.
Fun.
And we have 18.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay.
Araceli's like, God damn it.
Yep, it's fine.
Okay. I think this is where, Naomi, there is a break in the monotony of everything. As you can hear bones clattering and individuals kind of shouting in various languages. You can see towards the mouth of the cave there's movement. Perhaps for the first time. You've never seen anything travel down the stream, but in this kind of 15 to 20, sometimes 30 foot wide stream that leads further in, you can see that there are 2 rowboats moving in, and there are numerous individuals that are now rushing towards that. There are skeletons, there are anglermen, there are some of these other corrupted individuals, and you feel a hand on your shoulder as this very older sailor with this very gruff beard comes up to you, and he goes, "You got, dude."
What?
Do you speak Dutch?
No.
Just waves a hand at you and walks away, just shaking his head.
I think she was surprised that he even approached her. I think the past few days, I don't think she's spoken to anyone.
Um, yeah, that's fair. And you see that he goes back to all the others that are kind of like huddled around him. They all kind of look over to you and look out there, and they have like their backs turned to everything else that's happening. They want absolutely no part of it. To the rest of the crew, you travel down this river and find that on either side you have skeletons lining. There are humans, again marked with those black veins, those blackened eyes and mouths. And is there anything you all would like to do? There's enough width that you could sail down the middle of this stream and not interact with any of them. Or you can jump right off and start getting to slashing if you would like.
Oh, I'm going for it. I don't know if the rest of my longboat follows, but I'm assuming this is like shallow enough water, like maybe even for Lucy's height, like only up to the knees. I'm going to guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I think seeing the opportunity for a fight, I am going to leap over the side, sword in the air, and I'm going to charge in, which is not a very fast charge considering I am sloshing through water, but you know, good stuff.
I have the image in my head absolutely of going in, blades drawn. Okay, let's remind me what your initiatives are, just in case they happen to have changed recently.
11 for me.
Okay.
13 for Kayn.
Okay.
14 for Araceli.
So probably very similar. Let's see. 14 was Araceli. And then, Amaya, what about Naomi?
17.
Okay.
Speed.
Forgot how fast Naomi is.
It's not like she can really do anything right now.
Well, that remains to be seen. Let's change up the music. I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a like. We'll turn it down just a little bit here, and we'll kind of work our way into it. So there it is. Okay. Let's start out with Naomi. All of your guards, all of your jailers have run towards these ships now. You are not armed, but if this was ever a time to try to squeeze through these bars, it would be now. If there was ever a time to try to plan any sort of escape, it would be now. Is there anything you would like to do? Or do you want to sit back and just see how things play out? Because you also don't really know. It's a little too far away to see who these individuals are that are coming upstream.
I think after all this time, she's worried that if she tries to escape and fails, she's the one being chosen next.
There's that.
But also, she's getting chosen eventually anyway.
There's that.
I think she's gonna try.
Okay. Let's call this could be brawn. This could be, if you want to try to punch your way out, this could be melee. Or this could even be, I don't know, do you have any magic?
Nope.
Okay. I could even say accuracy, which I think we could maybe lend into like trying to find the widest part to slip through. But if you're trying to force these bars apart, that would be brawn. If you're trying to punch stone, essentially, that would be melee.
I'll try accuracy.
Okay.
I'm just cursed to always have good rolls, where I'm like, it'd be kind of dramatic if I failed. But I got 19. Maybe I failed.
You find the widest part in the bars, and it's tough at first, but as your hand that has now been marked with that black spot presses against them, they seem to give way, almost shy away from you, and you find yourself with just enough room to squeeze through. We can call that your first action. What would you like to do next? What did you want to run in any other direction? Did you want to, I don't know, see if you can punch a skeleton in the back of the skull?
I think she wants to run to be in like the most advantageous position to like both see who it is on the ships, but also be like not in the direction that the skeleton people are facing, like behind them, but can also see who they're fighting. And so she just wants to move there.
Okay. I think that's absolutely doable. Let's see here. I want to check one thing real quick. Let's see. I'm trying to look at. No, that's way too many. That's what I'm looking at. Let's see here. Let's ships and crew, ship actions. That's not what I want. Turns around. There we go. Okay, so move, attack, hold, reload, cast a spell. We can say that you can hold an action if you would like. Or we can also say that, well, I guess this would be movement. That would be action and movement to get out and then to run. You find yourself standing on a decent-sized rock that you would be able to hide behind the skeletons and manglers and everything else before you, and they don't really see you. You don't see anybody else immediately behind you. There's the blackened pit cave behind you, and up ahead you can look out and you can see, trudging through the shallow water, you're pretty sure that's Lucy. It's hard to miss your captain. And also the level of bravado just to rush in against a small army of undead, there's few others you would put that to. This may be your rescue.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay. Next up is Araceli.
So where am I in relation? Like, where is everything? Give me a mental map.
Yeah, so we have two longboats, two rowboats essentially, that are going downstream. You have roughly about, we could say, 5 feet on either side, and then kind of sandy banks. Lucy has jumped out of one of the rowboats and is about knee, maybe lower thigh high in water. And you're presumably still in the boat at this point. But all of the other pirates around you are starting to grab their pistols, their sabers, and are beginning to get off of the boat. You are basically surrounded at this point with even more incoming of skeletons, anglermen, and what I'm going to call glooms, because that is what the stat block I am using, which are the more corrupted, fleshy people. So you see them all about. Like, you're gonna swing a stick and hit 3.
Okay, those are all considered mythos creatures, right?
They are, yeah.
Cool. And you'd say they're about medium range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to medium, absolutely.
So when we leveled up, I took an intermediate spell. I took
Okay.
Interweaving Elder Signs.
Okay.
And basically, I can cast the spell at any point within medium range. An interlocking series of elder signs and symbols appear as a wall 10 feet wide and 8 feet tall.
Okay.
Non-mythos creatures can move freely through the wall. Any mythos creature that comes within short range of the wall has to do a harness save, and if failed, they take damage. And yes, so I guess my question is, where would be the best place to plant that bad boy?
You could put that almost anywhere and be successful. What's your ultimate goal with this? Are you trying to take out as many as you can? Are you trying to open up an area?
Well, yes, because it's 10 feet long. I kind of want to. I'm terrible at spatial stuff, so I naturally picked a spell that is spatially comprehensive. But the thing that basically attacks the most, forces them to either cross through it or try, and kind of protect at the same time with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could close up. So the one main issue is your boats are moving. If you're getting off of them, that's something else entirely. If you put it in front of you, that's not really going to help too much because they're not coming down the water. You could close off one side and protect one of your boats. That would about 10 feet would be the length of one of your rowboats, leaving the other side open for you to like focus all of your manpower on. That might be how I would suggest it.
Yeah, I think I might put it either right directly in front of like where Lucy's running, or right behind her, kind of like, well, maybe right in front. That would make more sense. Yeah.
Sure. That she would have to run through it. That she'd be
You
okay.
can run
but
through it just fine. But
yeah.
anything that tries to attack her would have to do
Gotcha.
a harness. I don't know what TN stands for, but a TN 18
Target
harness
number.
save. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a CR in D&D, or not a
Okay.
CR. It'd be
AC.
Easy.
yeah, it'd be yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I do that. But I guess
Okay.
it's just a little bit in front of Lucy.
Okay. So there are some already there. What kind of damage should they take?
Would that count as trying to cross it? How would that, depending on what that counts
I mean,
as?
they will on their turn. So just so I know on their turn what that would look like.
So it says that any mythos creature that comes within short range must make a TN 18 harness save. If failed, it will take 12 slashing damage or 6 slashing damage if passed. And any mythos creature attempting to move through the wall must pass a TN 18 brawn check. If failed, they may not move past the wall. If successful, they may pass but take 15 burning damage. So you have it's twofold. That's why I took the spell. I was like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, and skeletons only have 8 health, so that's good to know. Okay, yeah, I think you'll take out some just automatically if they do fail this roll, which I think would be pretty hard to succeed on. So let's find out on their turn. Your wall does extend upwards and outwards, and so with that, did you have another action you'd like to do for your turn?
Remind me what other kinds of actions I can take.
You can move, you can attack, reload, cast a spell, or hold.
I'll probably also get off the boat and follow my captain, because I'm not gonna just let her run into danger again.
Great. Kayn, it is your turn.
Well, I think Kayn is also gonna charge into the fray. He's like, based on the results of the ship eater fight, he's not comfortable letting Lucy or Araceli just jump into the fray again. So he will be going with them. Now I think with the wall up, I'm trying to think. Were there any monsters that were able to make it past the wall, like before Araceli had put it up, or no? I just wanted to make sure.
No. I'm gonna say that since we just jumped into it, like Lucy was able to get off the rowboat, and then like that's when we entered combat. So none of the other monsters have had their turns yet.
Okay. Okay. In that case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to. Let's see. I'm gonna move roughly within like closer to the wall, like, but I'm going to essentially cast a spell. One of the new spells I picked up when I leveled up.
Okay.
Eldritch Exhalations.
Okay.
So essentially, I cast the spell on myself, and I essentially like how best to describe it. Essentially, I just hold my hands like sort of forward, channeling like eldritch energy through it, and sort of like on the other side of the walls, because it lets me target a point within medium range. So I'm aiming for like a group of enemies, essentially. If enemies are any grouped up in one area, they'll sort of target that point. There's going to be like this green liquid that starts like appearing and coalescing and condensing and bubbling and growing larger and larger and larger into like this poisonous caustic bubble before bursting and just spraying any enemy within 4 feet of the point I chose. They all take 5 corruption damage if I make the spell, but yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
And I also take 2 damage because of it, but it's fine. Let's plus my harness. What is it? Harness plus 4. 13. 14 plus 4, 18, and the target number is 13, so I pass.
Great. Yeah, you watch as several skeletons are blasted with this caustic acid, and some of them are, like, the bones are dissolving on them. You see the few of the more corrupted, the glooms, kind of, like, they flinch back from the damage that they've taken. None of them immediately fall, but you kind of, like, scattered this little pocket of them. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No, I think Kayn will take some recoil damage from that. I think he takes 2 damage. I'm gonna flavor it in that such a way that the eye markings around his eyes. Part of it was makeup, but a lot of it is mainly due to because of his spellcasting ability. Will actually sort of expand and crack and dig deeper into his body a little bit. So
Sure.
canon explanation for the makeup.
Fantastic. It's very Baldur's Gate like tattoo option. Or eye makeup option. I really appreciate that.
It's great, yeah.
Lucy, it is your turn.
So I'm not going to go into too much detail with this just because it could potentially violate lines and veils. So we're just going to keep it real short, sweet, and simple and vague.
Sure.
But as I am charging up, I'm going to cast a spell, and if successful, it should leave a mark on the back of my hand as if I'd just been cut by a blade in a fight. So let's see if this works. If it does, yay, good, excellent, that was close there. So what I'm casting is Sword of Sacrifice. You can cast this on yourself or any ally within short range. The target will take 3 HP slicing damage. They then gain Blade of Blood, which is capable of 1d3 vicious and corrupting 3. So, like I said, there's this cut that's going to appear on the back of my hand, and in the hand that was cut, there's going to appear this spectral blade. And that'll be one action. Am I close enough to take an attack on one of the skellies?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, then I am going to do that. Now, what target number do I need to hit for?
Let's see. The highest target number that you would need to hit. Let's see. Skeletons have an evasion of 10, and glooms have an evasion of 11. You get 11 or higher, and you are definitely going to hit one of the immediate creatures coming towards you.
Okay. I actually meant to ask because I forgot that I can just attack, and if it hits or it doesn't, I was thinking like a number I had to hit in order to successfully attack. But I did get an 11, so that's
perfect.
Good. So then I gotta roll a d3. Where's my d4? I need another d6. I need my damage d6. Okay, great. So that'll be 3 vicious damage plus corrupt 3 on that attack. And because I took an attack, I get to go again because I have holds a grudge, which allows me to attack again when I take an attack action. Okay. 13.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to take 2 vicious damage and another corrupt 3.
Okay, perfect. With the damage that Kayn had done and a couple of these glooms, you slice a few of them, and they fall before they could even pass through that wall that Araceli had drawn up. And you see that others are going to like a rock and water. They're going to flow around you, not all singularly focused on you, but targeting some of your shipmates as well. Okay. Let's see here. That one. Okay, it is Skeleton's turn, so I'm going to do some rolls for them, and then... Okay, cool. Let's see. Skeletons are going to do. There's a handful of them. I'm going to do, I think, 5 rolls, average them out. 15, 15, 15. Okay, so that is a 13 average. And so let's see, as far as pirates go. Pirates have an evasion of 12, so some of the pirates are going to take some damage from this. You notice that a lot of the blades and weapons that the skeletons are wielding, they're not wielding anything except for melee weapons, some bludgeoning weapons, some slicing weapons, but all of them, if they are metal, are very rusted through. And so the pirates are going to get slashed here and there. It's only going to be 2 damage to each of them. And I don't think 13 beats any of your evasion scores. So I don't think any attacks are going to go to you.
Does he have to meet or beat?
Yes, meet or beat.
I have 13.
Okay. Then I will say that Lucy will take 2 points of slicing damage.
Tetanus.
Yep,
Yeah,
I said the same thing in Twitch chat.
The worst way to die. In an eldritch world of arcane just awfulness, it's tetanus. It's like getting scurvy. It's just insulting. Okay. Several of the skeletons do immediately disintegrate as they hit that wall. So as they're flowing around, they're now flowing not just around you, but around the wall as well. And so, I mean, you take out at least 5 of them that are just momentum alone carried through that wall and just fragment, just dust. There's not even, they don't even blow in the wind because the magic of the wall has nearly fully consumed what was left of them. I will note that the sharpened stone, the arrowhead, drops from each of them to the ground and is kind of they're almost like caltrops in the ground there. Okay. The glooms are going to attempt their attack. Let's see here. And they have a -3 to hit, so I don't think that's going to hit anybody. You take out several glooms as well. Your pirates are going to do their attacks. And so they get a +1 to hit. They do 3 slicing damage. Okay. The pirates are going to actually handle themselves pretty admirably with their blades and their pistols. They are going to handle themselves, like I said, pretty well against the skeletons. The one thing I think, Lucy, you would note, and especially seeing your crewmates fighting back against these skeletons as well, slicing at a skeleton's tough. Sometimes that blade go between the ribs. Sometimes it don't hit nothing. And so you're just kind of chipping away at bones sometimes. It's kind of when they're all just wiggling around and everything, you try to strike at a vertebra, it doesn't really separate the way you want it to. And so they are taking less slicing and vicious damage mechanically than they otherwise would if they were more constituted. Okay. We are to top of the order. Naomi, hiding behind the rock, looking at all of your compatriots, you feel a hand grip your shoulder rather tightly, and you look to see that it is webbed. And it goes to wrap a forearm about your neck, and then you feel a sharpened blade press towards your throat. And pulling you out from behind this rock, you hear Sanford's voice as he starts pushing you forward, his body pressed up against yours, and he shouts out to all of your crew, "Best be dropping your weapons then. Don't want this one to meet an untimely end, do you?" A little bit out of turn here. You all see that Naomi is being held at knife point by this corrupted individual. Is there anything you all would like to do, non-combat oriented, to reply to this in any way? We can jump back into the combat order right after this, but anything you all would like to do in direct response?
How far away is Sanford from us?
About 30 feet.
Okay, but what is that in the games?
That would
Is
be
it,
medium.
short,
that would be medium distance.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry,
That is
Derek.
medium distance. No, you're okay. That is a fair question. There's a fair adjudication on that. Yeah. Close, I think, is 5 to 10, and I think beyond that is probably what you consider medium.
Okay. Give me 1 second to peruse my sheet because I have a thought and I just want to And if either you two has something you want to do, obviously, please.
Araceli was just gonna not even listen because, they've got healing spells. It's fine.
I think
Okay.
for-
What
fair
if
enough.
what if he kills me?
I don't think
Yeah,
that's how...
let's. I mean,
Well,
Kayn.
No, go on.
No, I was like, I don't know if Kayn wants to take that chance. If I'm being real.
Is
think-
Sanford considered living?
What a question.
Not for long.
Currently, yes, he is considered a mythos. Yeah, he is living and considered a mythos being, a mythos
Great.
human.
Great. So I think seeing he's got Naomi and he's interrupting step 1 of my plan.
How dare!
How dare.
I have just finished taking out the skeleton and I've still got both of these blades. All I'm gonna do is like nod my head. I'm not gonna say anything. And let's see if this makes set. I need to hit a 17 to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that I bumped up harness so much. It's so helpful. Okay, that makes it. So, I am going to cast Keelhold on Sanford.
I have that spell.
Okay.
If cast, the target will take 4d6 vicious damage.
Okay. I want to make sure that we're doing this in turn order, just as to keep this as structured as
No,
possible.
absolutely, yeah.
So, let's hold that thought. Let's take our break, and then we'll have immediate reaction was to see if anyone was going to drop their weapons. It doesn't seem like we're going to.
Oh no.
So we're going to go to next turn, which would then be Naomi and then Araceli and so on. So let's take a break now before we start that new turn order. I love that. Hold that thought. We'll be back in probably 10 to 15. Do the things, pet your pets. Please enjoy our ad reel, and please use any of our wonderful discount codes if you are going to be shopping from any of our amazing affiliates. We also are going to start our giveaway for the free PDF copy of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. You can enter that with hashtag cursed or #cursed, depending on how old you are, in chat. And we'll announce the winner of that once we are doing our wrap up for the day and for this game. And then, please donate to Lambda Legal Defense Fund. It is a fantastic organization who can spice up this game just a little bit with your donations. Stick around. We'll be back. Vast, and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the finale of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. Let's jump back into things. You all, I should say, a lot of you, those still left on the to-be-determined ship name, or named ship, have rowed your way into... not even an ambush, just a hornet's nest, I suppose, which is also the body cavity of a long ago petrified colossal eldritch being. So with a rib cage all about you, like some sort of great structured building, you look up, there is light cast behind you and darkness within. Skeletons and glooms, these corrupted people, have surrounded you with aggressive intent, as you all have also jumped from your longboats and taken to attacking them with spell and sword. All the while, Naomi, being captive in this cave, has made her way free of the pen she was held in, but finds herself imprisoned once again, perhaps temporarily, with a dagger to her throat from a corrupted man that she had met earlier, named Sanford. So, Naomi, it is your turn. You are currently restrained. You're held in place. There is a knife to your throat. What would you like to do?
She is looking at the crew and makes eye contact with Lucy, and she just says, just go.
If you want, we can make that a contested roll. I leave that to you and Dax. Otherwise,
Oh, I'll flat out tell you, Lucy's not having any of it.
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Lucy's like, I'm the one that's gonna get sacrificed here, okay?
No, I think honestly, like, I imagine we're far enough aware where this might be hard to see, but like all Lucy's responses is, okay.
Yeah. Jan.
I love that you're like the sweetest things you say to each other as crewmates is like, if things get bad, go on without me. Yes. If things get bad, go on without me. Yes. Go on without. No, you go on without me.
But then to the rest of the crew, it's like, you're fucking useless.
We're trying to go on without you. You're not letting us. Araceli, your magical wall still holding, presumably?
Well, the cool thing about this ability, and this was gonna ask you, there are no limitations on it.
Okay.
Doesn't have a timer. Doesn't have a will dissipate. Doesn't say you can only use it once.
What's it called again?
That's a great question. It's interweaving elder signs. Because I could have missed a limitation, but I'm pretty sure I didn't, which is why I was like, can I be an asshole?
Interweaving elder signs. Yeah, it's got a high casting number. So yeah, well, like image, type requirements. There you go. Cast spell. Yeah, it just exists.
It just
Probably
exists.
Probably for the rest of time at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, for in perpetuity. So my question was, can I just, he's medium range, right? We established that earlier.
Yeah.
Can I just place that little bad boy between them?
Ooh. Yes. It'll take another cast to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me be nice to me. Dice. That's
Gonna
two
get stabbed.
sixes, 2 6s, and 2 5s, and another 5. Plus it's an abjure roll, so +5.
Okay.
I think I got it.
I think you did. He is going to, as you cast that, he is going to go ahead and take that damage, and he is going to take his prepared action then. So he is going to slice at Naomi. So...
Can't believe Araceli killed me.
Well,
Well,
listen, it's fine. You're probably not dead.
He whispers to Araceli, or no, sorry, he whispers to Naomi, he goes, "Don't worry, you're going to be so much more magnificent after this." And he is going to slice you with a corrupting ritual dagger. So yeah, that's a 24 is +4 to hit, 19 on the dice. So you are going to take 10 points of vicious damage. And I need a... Let's see. I need a savvy check from you, please. The target number is 16.
okay.
You got this.
Don't forget you have nudges and rerolls. Or I just did a reroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use... I'll use the nudge. And you said, to beat it was a 16, you said?
16, yep.
Then I beat that with a nudge.
Okay. Then you feel an intrusion in your mind, but you are able to push it away, perhaps by focusing on the pain, as you have been sliced around the throat at this point. Yet a magical wall, essentially you hear sizzling, you smell like burning meat for a moment as he takes what's the damage, Val?
He's technically failing to move through it, right?
Oh yeah, no, you described it as going like between the two of them. He had an arm wrapped around her, so it is, yeah, he is going to take the damage from this for sure.
15 burning damage, if I'm reading this right.
Okay.
Yeah. This
Great.
spell is broken. I love it.
Yeah, it's got that higher roll, but yeah, if you can place it right, which you are absolutely doing. Fantastic. He lets go. Naomi, you are released but injured at this point. I'm gonna say, let's see if there's. I need to remember if there's conditions in this game.
But did you die?
Almost.
Yeah. Okay, so you are still standing.
No,
that is.
I am, yeah, still up. But it was
Okay.
bad. She's looking bad.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see the thing to that. Okay, that'll be on your next turn. You are also currently rotting, which is the condition I'm going to point out. So you are going to take rot damage at the end of each of your subsequent turns. As
so
there is
sorry.
now like a necrosis that is like the curse that's already been placed on you. You see those veins just extending and nearly meeting with now veins that are extending down from this wound on your neck. Okay. Okay, here's those are all damage types. Great. Let's go. Araceli, anything else for your turn?
I already did my one spell, right?
You got your spell out, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm good. I can't. I guess I'll move a little closer to Naomi.
Okay. So you now have your wall down that was next to Lucy.
Uh-huh.
So you now have like all of these other skeletons and glooms that are coming towards you.
Are they near
Oh.
the wall? Because if they're short range from the wall, they take damage.
Well, let me ask: are you able to hold up both at the same time?
That's an excellent question. That is not specified in the spell.
We'll say you can
You
hold
tell
up.
me.
It's a high enough roll. We can hold up both. That's fine. There's no like real concentration as far as I can tell in this sort of game. So yeah, two walls for sure. Cool. Kayn, it is your turn.
So I think in the span of like, he had a plan when he first saw he had an idea when he first saw like Sanford sort of threaten Naomi at like knife point.
Sure.
That plan sort of went out when Naomi did get slashed. So, yeah. I think he'll still go through with it, but he's also going to see if he can just run in and just start fighting.
Yeah.
I think he's going to. I think he's gonna try and see if he can surreptitiously like. I don't know if Guppy was traveling with him when they made landfall, or at least
Sure.
landfall started fighting with him. But I think Kane's going to see if he can surreptitiously like release Guppy and just like tell hey, that guy, point to Sanford, bite him.
Cannot stress
Okay.
enough, when I told Derek about Guppy, the first thing I said was, he is not domesticated.
Yeah, Guppy pulls out like a little like tricorn pirate hat and like pops it on his head and just goes like lurching towards like a cheetah, just like back legs over the front, completely unnatural movement for a possum, and just goes launching towards Sanford. We can have that happen on Naomi's next turn there. What else would you like Kayn to do?
I think for Kayn, I think what I'm gonna have him do is I'm gonna move into, I think, let's make this, let's do short. We'll move into short range, I think. And I'm going to cast the Tentacle Whip spell on, and just try to hit him.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a TN of 11. 12 plus 4 is 16.
A 16. You're targeting Sanford?
I'm targeting Sanford, yeah.
A 16 does not hit.
Okay. Can I actually, you know what? I do have.
You can see you cast out with this tentacle whip, and his own tentacle extends outwards from his arm, seemingly shifting into a tentacle, and catches yours and kind of snaps it back a little bit and pushes it away.
I do get rerolls thanks to one of my skills, I think. So I'm gonna see if I can burn through those, if that'll help. Hopefully,
Sure.
hopefully not. So I'll use the first reroll because I think I have double check what the skill name is called. But User of the Eldritch. It is basically the upgraded version of my focused harness spell. So that gets me 2 rerolls instead of 1 for using a harness spell. Nice, I like that. That's already 2 6s and a 5 off the bat. 17 plus 3, 20 plus 4, 24.
24 does hit, yes.
Cool. Cool.
Just
so
barely.
I'll take that. I'll take it just barely because that just barely is still a hit. So he will take 2d6 vicious damage, and he must make a TN 14 bronze save and take an additional 5 corruption damage.
Okay. I'm sorry, what was the damage for him?
2d6.
Okay, so yeah, let me know what that is, and then we'll do a bronze save.
You do that on my. See that again. All right, that is going to be 8. 5 plus 3.
Okay, 8 points of damage. He got a 22 for his brawn.
All right, so he doesn't take the additional damage, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next up then is Lucy.
As soon as my mouse cooperates. So can I keel haul him now?
You may, yes.
Okay. I already know it hits, so it's just a matter of rolling damage. Okay. Uh, 19 points of vicious damage.
Great. Looks pretty roughed up at this point.
Good.
Still standing.
Great. I have to do something other than a spell. Is there a skeleton nearby?
For sure.
Okay, let's just attack the skeleton. It's like keeping my eye. It's very cinematic. Like I'm keeping my eyes on Sanford, making sure it doesn't hurt my crew any further, and then just like out of like reflex, just like reach out and like slice the blade towards this oncoming skeleton. All right. 17 hit.
A 17 isn't. Skeleton it does. Yes, 17 does hit a skeleton.
Excellent. And I get to go again. And it's a 15 hit.
Yes.
Okay. In both instances, where's the thing about my sword? I gotta roll the crushing damage or the whatever one. I'll just roll 2d6
For sure.
for the 2 hits. So 3, another 3, and another 2 of so 5 vicious damage and 6 corrupting.
Okay. You take out another skeleton with that, and you watch as the bones just kind of crumple to the ground beneath the battering swings of your blades. Anything else for your turn?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Skeletons, pirates, and glooms are going to continue to fight. Let's see how they all do. The skeletons get some successful hits in. So do the pirates, though. And the glooms a little less successful, but I'm going to say that Kayn, Araceli, and Lucy, you're all going to take 2 points of slashing damage as skeletons tend to swarm. You are taking a lot of them out with that wall with your own individual attacks, but there are still quite a few around. We are back to top of the order with Sanford. Looking rough at this point, Naomi, he has kind of pushed you for the wall separating the two of you, and through that kind of shimmering abjuration wall, he just shakes his head at you and goes, "You could have been magnificent, and now you're just going to be less." And he is going to snap back his head. You hear a crack as he does, and let out this like deep bellowing, reverberating kind of sound. It echoes through the cavernous rib cage area that you are, and as he does, all of the skeletons stop, all of the gloom stop, and he turns and starts walking back towards the dark depths of the cave. All the skeletons and glooms, like, regardless of whether they're being struck at by pirates or any of you, they begin to clatter and run back towards the far end of the cave. And you hear his voice kind of echoing, and he says, "To the embrace, then! The time is nigh, and the end is near." We're out of combat at this point. Let's see. Naomi and Araceli, you're going to take 3 points of rot damage at this point.
Oh, okay.
What would you all like to do? All of your enemies, the Manglers, everything else, you see the Manglers have kind of been at the far edges of this fight, like the light of them kind of illuminating your battle a little bit. They all just turned, they're walking casually back towards the depths of the cave. Their light almost being snuffed out by the void of it beyond. All the skeletons, all of the glooms have passed back there as well. And now it is just you and your pirates. I think one of the weird things you notice at this point is none of the glooms, none of the skeletons that you felled that weren't disintegrated remain. And even as you look around, none of your fellow sailors, none of them remain either. We can say that as you look around, you lost 3 more of your crewmates, but their bodies are not there.
So but the non-dead crew members are there, or are they just gone?
Yes, your living crew members remain.
Okay.
They're a little roughed up, but they're holding things together. You see some slashes, scratches, a little bit of bleeding here and there, but they are looking around a little confused at this point.
You know what time it is, though. It's
Is it healing
hand
time?
holding time. It's
Is it-
hand
okay.
holding time. We're
Okay.
gonna get in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do
All right, everybody, let's say
healing
some
while
affirmations about each other and ourselves.
And kumbaya.
It's important we don't talk about the fact that I got Naomi's throat sliced. It's fine.
Yeah, she's like holding it, and then there's like
Just it's fine. Just
We're all going to sing "What Do You Do with a Drunken Sailor," but it's positive. We're going to take care of him, make him hydrate, and make sure that he has a safe place to sleep for the night. None of this, like, putting him in bed with the captain's daughter. That's not okay.
We
Get
can't
him
even
some
shave
bread.
his belly with a rusty razor? That's not...
It's not his belly in the original lyrics, now is it? So I think also not okay.
Oh my God.
But belly just sounds funny.
It does. It absolutely does. If he asks you to do that, I think that'd be nice. Maybe that's a little bit of
Yeah, a little consent.
yeah.
Consent is
Help a
important.
pirate to manscape. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Okay, I'm gonna roll this dice.
Lord knows
No,
most
roll
of
the
them
dice
did.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a 5. Wait, no. How does this work? Okay, hold on. 1d3 plus 3. I rolled a d6. I rolled a 5.
That's 3.
Yeah, we'll
Plus
we'll
three.
round up, so 3 plus 3, so it'd be 6 in total.
Everyone gets plus. Everyone holding my hands in the little Healy circle gets 6 points.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet.
Thank you, Araceli.
I mean, I'm sorry for getting you injured there. Is the rotting damage related to the curse, or
It
is
is,
it?
yeah.
Okay, just so.
And you
I
have,
could
we can
fix
say that
if
you
it
have
wasn't.
you've staved it off for the moment. There's nothing immediately causing that rotting damage in your immediate area, but you do also feel, again, that anchor kind of keeping you here in a way, like that intrusive thought that you and Naomi now share. Not necessarily that you both would know that, although, Araceli, you might notice that Naomi is bearing some very similar markings to yours at this point.
Well, you did say it was cool.
did until I found out that you turn into a fish.
You what?
Suddenly very less cool, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think she's like very like unsteady on her feet and just kind of like sits down in the sand. It was like, yeah, the Mangler. I think that's like the final stage. It's pretty bad.
Great. Okay.
Lovely. Lovely.
It is at this point you hear screams coming from further, several of them coming from deeper in the cave.
Naomi, like, doesn't react at all. There's, like, nothing as that sound starts.
We're going to talk about that later, but
Mm-hmm.
are you okay? I mean, minus the, getting damaged. Me doing bad life choices.
On the one hand, I'm extremely thankful that you all came to rescue me. That's very cute and fun. Also, you really shouldn't have. But I guess you just had no way to know that this place is basically made of dead ships and we probably can't leave.
What?
Yeah. So...
I mean, to be fair and all, you knew we had to come here to get Araceli's problem taken care of. You don't think that we're just coming for you now, do you? Sure, yours important, but don't have
I would
to
never.
be so self-centered about it.
There's a treasure to get to, I know, but also those ships couldn't leave. And now they're like part of the cave.
Well, perhaps this will be that one good thing about not having a ship name now, isn't it?
I was gonna say, even they had names and they still couldn't get away, and we don't even have that.
And perhaps that will be our advantage.
Okay.
Would be fitting.
Look,
Araceli-
Very ironic way.
I'm going to put my hand on Naomi's shoulder if she'll allow it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of give like a slightly, which is interesting because I think Naomi's taller than me. So,
She's like sitting on the ground right now.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, put my hand on your shoulder and just give like a very, like a attempt at a comforting squeeze. And I just say, look, take it over till it's over. All right? We came to get you out. Perhaps with a little assistance by you, got you out. So,
Oh, I didn't do much assisting. I like almost escaped and then immediately got used against you as leverage.
But you got out of the cage.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah. How's that full moment?
Now we just gotta take care of this curse nonsense and then get the fuck out of here.
And kill Sanford. That's something I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna kill Sanford.
Oh, we're in agreement then.
Yeah, he gave me this. And a very uncool high five. So, and now I guess this matches. That's, I mean, assuming I don't die from this, it was actually kind of look cool.
Araceli has just been healing that as much as like compulsively almost, just this whole time.
So, she, like, gets up to stand. It's like, let's go kill him.
Well, the wind did say to not go to the embrace.
Right. He did say something about that. That if you refuse the embrace, you become a skeleton, but if you accept it, you become a fish, which are two bad options.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
just
neither-
worse and worse. I don't
Neither sound appetizing in the slightest.
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Both
fish is
bad.
appetizing, just not in this context. I haven't spoken for like 3 days. This is crazy.
We missed you. I missed you. I'm sorry I let you go in the tent first.
I would have done it whether you let me or not.
It's true, I did try to stop you. Araceli's just gonna give her like a pat, because Araceli, as we've established, no clue how to do hugs, so that's as good as it gets.
You guys can
So-
like put your palms together and just
Yeah, little hand hug.
now Keith.
I think Kayn would also come over and just be like, he's being his usual like broody self, and he just sort of like looks over at Guppy, and by the way, the furball missed you.
Did you bring Guppy?
Wow.
He He was very convincing.
How many times did he bite you while you carried him here?
How many times did he bite me, God?
Oh, son.
Why is he sentient now?
It wasn't too bad, actually.
I know I mentioned this in chat. I have a weird sort of just attraction to weird little guys that shouldn't talk but kind of talk. Like little animals that are just like weirdly threatening by like how just unsettling they are, and like they're not going to say words, but it's so close to words. You're like, yeah, no, you're not even Scooby doing this, but I'm pretty sure I know what you're saying. But it's like I couldn't, right? Because you're a fucking possum. But it's like,
To be fair, Amaya, if Naomi has been like in a cage for several days, has been getting like terrible nutrition, probably has not gotten good water, she's probably dehydrated, she's probably hungry, and this is also Eldritch like universe. So clearly there's some hallucinating, if not flat out weird shit that just happens to animals.
Yeah, I think the first thing I was gonna have her say, but then I got threatened at knife point and it didn't happen, was, is this real?
I think like Naomi perfectly understands. She's like, hello, food mother. Great to see you once again.
No.
Surely I've been truly lost without you, yet I find myself heartened by seeing your face once again. Truly we must escape this darkened place and see ourselves absconded to some place better, safer, and less full of bones.
This is amazing. I think she's gonna turn to Kayn and hug him.
Kayn will accept it and hug back, actually.
Now let's go kill that freak. Please.
Yeah. By the way, Furbo wasn't the only one who missed you.
I need to get you to a room. We get off this island and then get you to a room.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't worry about it.
I fear the grumpy man has a thing for you, food mother.
I need this. I don't know how much longer I can handle this.
Yeah, we might have to do some rolls here, because like they don't mess with sanity in this game, but there is like the whole courage aspect. I'm not sure if it's making it better or worse.
Yeah,
and
I think she's
making
like,
it worse.
What if canonically somehow this possum somehow managed to learn like Deep One and is just spouting it out?
That would be fun because I think Araceli has multilingual and would be able to
So does
understand.
Kayn.
Yeah,
So
I was
does
gonna say, I think the only one who wouldn't know would be Lucy.
We're all talking to the possum except for Lucy.
Yeah, because Lucy only speaks English and she speaks half-assed Spanish.
Like a
That's
true
it.
captain.
Like a true captain.
Oh my god, I'm losing it. I can't. No.
How would you all like to proceed deeper into the cave? Did you want to go just all of you? Are you taking the rest of your crew with you? Are you doing so sneakily?
No.
I think I will essentially address the crew and basically be like, all right, step 1 of the plan is done, now on to step 2. Who's ready to follow? And I'll basically leave it up to them how many would like to stay at the boats and who would like to follow us in. Especially now that they've seen the horrors of what awaits.
The island, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's call this a savvy roll. Let's see what you get.
Okay. Not gonna be good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you've lost 3 out of 15, so you have 12 crewmates left.
$17.
Okay, 17's pretty good. I'm gonna say with a 17, they decide to stay with you. You only lost 3, and overall, pretty successful in that fight. A few of them a little scratched up, but having a healer on hand, not that bad. And well, there's treasure to be had, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They follow you. Okay. You continue deeper into this cavern, and again, we've described how there's a little bit of light that is cast. So you get to the point where you see the pen where Naomi was held, and you now find it empty. Let me know if at any point you all want to stop and smell the roses or investigate anything, but presumably pushing on, it gets darker and darker to the point that you're having trouble seeing your hand a short distance away from your face. Would any of you like to create any sort of light?
Light that I can create is slashing. I didn't take
sure.
the cool, convenient flame one, so no.
Yeah, I don't have anything, any utility stuff.
Um,
Like a smart captain.
let's do an accuracy roll real quick. Let's do it with. We'll just do a flat roll.
That's 3, 5. A 9. I rolled poorly.
17 for
what-
Kayn.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Naomi, what was yours?
I got a 17.
Okay, so 2 17s. Kayn, Naomi, in this darkness, it's blinding darkness. Except there is a small bit of light, this golden light up ahead, that at first you wondered if it's a torch or a brazier of some sort, because it seems to be shifting ever so slightly. But you also notice that it's shifting in a rhythmic sort of way, and it is the only light up ahead. It's
Naomi
not bright.
knows what this is.
You might. It's
Decent
not
chance,
enough
mate.
to illuminate your path in any way, but you follow it in this otherwise total darkness. And getting closer and closer to it, you can see that it is a massive, bigger than any of you, probably 10 feet at its longest or widest point. It is suspended from these glowing golden extensions, tendons, veins, maybe, as you see suspended about 30 feet above you in this cavern is a large beating golden heart. And dripping from that heart seems to be what you presume is some sort of molten gold that is congealing in a pool that has kind of like, it's carved out of the sand a little bit and is straining out in these little streams. The water that flowed in has long ago ceased. It is all just rock and sand at this point, and now the gold is giving off light, and the heart itself is giving off light. And you hear a voice out of the darkness. See, I knew that you couldn't just turn around, that you belonged here, and you brought friends.
I came to kill you.
Oh, that's not anything you have to worry about. That's going to happen anyway. But now you get to be part of it as well. You get to be part of the embrace. We can all be together, here, forever. And we can be magnificent.
Can I see him? Where is he?
He steps forward a little bit into the light. And it's kind of standing at the bottom of that golden glow. Now, only one last step. Wouldn't want to upset the digestive process. And he reaches down into that golden pool and he dips his hand in. And you can see it kind of like starts like washing his hands, and he very slowly pulls his own black spot out and just kind of flicks it away. And as he does, you see this tentacle wraps around his middle and rips him back into the darkness. And you hear a crunching noise.
Hey, Captain, what was the rule about touching the heart of gold? It was a bad thing, right?
Oh.
Hold on.
Definitely don't.
Wait. I wrote the stuff down. Well,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm assuming yes, it's probably bad, but I want
But
to see if there's
also-
anything else that Derek might have mentioned.
It took it out, though.
Then ate him.
It's hard of gold
So do
is
we keep it
real.
in?
One step at a time.
I wanted to kill him, damn it!
Well, I actually don't know what I was going to say to that. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
Well.
yes.
Captain
Damn him in
Curtis
his
Lark, its
stupid
forbidden
face.
treasure, his heart is of gold is real, and every word causes the curse to consume until the person dies.
Araceli said, "Don't be a colonizer about it." I remember that pretty distinctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did.
It said he went on a venture and never came back. They were headed off to a hidden island in the Devil's Triangle. A great skull is carved into the cliffside. That's what I wrote from session 1. So if there were further things that I screwed up, then I did not write it down.
No, I think that was the main part of it. It is at this point that you look up to the heart and you can see that, like, lodged into the ceiling, you can see the name board that exists on the back of a ship, and you do see the Peregrine seemingly lodged into the foundation of this place.
Oh,
And then- Go ahead, please.
So
no,
embarrassing
finish your
when it just says the
description. I will-
TBD on the wall. That's so lame.
I was going to say, at that point, you start to see tentacles writhing outwards, reaching towards all of you.
I am
That's
going
what you
to
want to do.
call out
Okay.
and say, Captain Curtis Lark, if you're still there, why don't you come out and talk to me face to face, Captain? Or you're not enough of a man about it?
You hear a voice. I think it's a voice that Araceli, no, that Naomi would have heard before, because it's the voice that first told her that she was not the one that was summoned. And it says, "Captain Lark is not here, but is here. We are many now. Soon you shall be as well."
Well, perhaps we might be able to talk that out. I mean, after all, you didn't exactly invite me for tea and biscuits first, now did you?
Oh, unless you would like to be the tea and biscuits.
Nah, it's okay, I'll pass. Look, before we get into the eating and the digesting and all that, question for you. What exactly do you want? I mean, as far as I knew, Captain Lark was a nobleman, good on his word.
Yes, and thanks to that, he went down smoothly. The tentacles kind of lurch forward a little bit, and this mass, almost bioluminescently, begins to glow. I'm going to skirt around as much of the body horror as possible when I describe that this is what's called a betentacled fiend. It is an amalgamation of people and tentacles with one massive sideways mouth, almost crustacean-like in the mandibles that kind of extend out from it, and so many eyes. And it lurches forward. If I was to describe this in any way, I would say that this looks like a stomach with far fewer steps involved in the digestive process.
So it's the giant blob at the end of Inside Out.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm
Oh.
picturing right now.
Huh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I
Okay.
want is to consume, to embrace. I wish to be that what I once was. I wish to restore. And I can only do that, as any living creature does, by consuming life. Are you going to say that you're any better or different?
I think I cross my arms at that. And well, yes and no. You see, everything living has a natural end, and well, you're not really becoming what you were. You're becoming different. And if you want to go, sometimes you have to go forward to go back, and you've gone about 100 steps too far. So perhaps, what if we didn't consume? What if you let some people go and see how that works out for you?
Can you let go what you had for breakfast?
Yes, but
Well-
in bad company, it's not really.
Would it be the same? I am moving forward. I am changing. I am becoming greater. And you could too. Just be embraced.
This is
It is
worse
not-
than being fish.
It's not an end, it is another beginning, and you will never be lonely again.
But I'm not
You will
lonely
have
now.
purpose.
You're
Very
under
well.
the assumption that I don't have anyone. That I don't have people that I care about.
Caring is how one becomes lonely.
Then I guess I'm already at step 100 and you're at 25.
Then perhaps I shall.
By the way, just
make
above
you
table,
lonely.
Lucy
Yes,
is
please.
totally stalling for time for the rest of you.
Okay.
Naomi is like, someone give me a knife. They took my shit. Someone give me a knife.
I think Araceli's trying to eye that golden heart. Like, is it breakable? Say, cuttable?
Yeah. I mean, it's being held up by, what appears to be some sort of like golden yet natural structure. It has 4 main supports that look golden yet fleshy.
Love that. Okay. I think they're gonna be like, we need to, like, kind of gesture subtly, as subtly as Araceli is capable of being, towards, like, up.
Okay. Those eyes all looking at each of you. I mean, again, just so many of them, and you realize that they are all different colors as well. They're human, but not in human form. And this mouth just opens. It's not been moving as this creature talks. It almost feels as if it's been talking in your minds. And to Lucy's point, it says, "Well, then I shall make you lonely." Let's jump into combat again here real quick. So let's do this one. So first up is actually it's going to be Naomi.
Did anyone conveniently have a spare knife?
One of the pirates will hand you, like, he'll like offer a knife or a sword.
She takes the knife.
Okay.
Um,
It was my favorite sword, so I'm glad you didn't pick that one.
she really wants to kill this thing. I think if it's possible for her to just ignore the tentacles and go straight for the blob of it all, she would like to do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Would it take a movement action for me to get there, or?
It is. We can say that it is medium distance, so you would have to move to get to it. Yes.
Okay. Then I'll do my special thing next turn. I'm just gonna stab it like normal. All of this is so normal. And then I get... How many rerolls do I get? I get 2. Oh, that one was worse. Alright, that's fine. It's a 21.
That will hit.
Epic. Then that is gonna be 6 damage.
Okay. You slash, and this thing lets out a screech. Okay.
Who's lonely now?
The eyes all look to you, and you hear this like reverberation that you interpret as maybe a chuckle, but like it's like a room of laughter. It's like a room of people laughing at you. And I'm gonna roll a d4 to see who this thing goes after. So let's see. Lucy's 1, Araceli's 2, Kayn's 3, Naomi's 4. That is Kayn. So Kayn, this thing is going to it's going to try to attack you. One of the tentacles is going to reach out and try to wrap around your foot. That is a 20.
That hits,
And I need a savvy save from you. It's target number 12.
Target number 12. All right. Let's do it. $13.
Great. This thing goes to wrap about your leg, and you are going to take 10 slicing damage, but you are able to fight out of its grip as its mouth opens and the tentacle whips back. If you had not gotten your way out, you would have gone in that thing's maw. Then it is going to do a smash attack on Naomi, since she is right there. So Naomi, you are going to, let's see if it even hits. That is an 18. Does that hit your evasion?
Just barely.
Okay. You are going to take 15 crushing damage from that.
Naomi's down.
Okay.
I didn't even get to do my thing!
Back to full. What's your full health?
20.
You should be back to that.
You had healed 6.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she had taken that, like, next
And I
slice.
took
before.
way more than
raw
6.
damage. Yeah, there was a lot of damage from the Sanford fight.
Okay.
Okay. Next up is Araceli.
Wait, did you say crushing damage?
It is, yes, crushing damage.
You said it was 15?
It was.
Oh no, I'm exactly at 0. No, one of
Okay.
my fancy abilities was that I take 1 less crushing damage, but I'm exactly
You know,
at 0.
I'm actually, I think this is a fun opportunity for Naomi to resist this. Do you want to have a roll off for it?
Rollies.
Okay.
So is it
let's
just
roll
like-
46. No modifiers. Just see what you get.
46?
Yeah, I got an 11.
I got a 14.
Yeah!
1 hit point. You remain up. Okay. Araceli.
Naomi is medium range for me, right?
Yeah, at this point.
Just checking to see the range of my healy spell.
Remind me what it did to almost kill me.
One of the tentacles, just like massive appendage, just smashed down on top of you.
Tentacles.
Fleshy tentacles.
Lovely.
Okay, yeah, I can cast this on a single living friendly target within medium range. So I will healing balm on Naomi because that's just 1d6 health points, which is a 5. So please don't get hit again for a few rounds. Thanks. Can I do like an attack? I realize in all of this, I have not used the bow that Araceli has. I just exclusively use magic.
Val!
Yeah. So how does that even work?
Yeah. What weapon do you have?
Just a bow. Whatever.
Like a bow and arrow kind of bow?
Yeah, like whatever comes. With
That's going to be an accuracy roll. So as opposed to melee, this will be accuracy. And so you just need to beat the evasion score of this creature, which is a 16.
Alright, well, let's see if that works. No. That's two ones, a 4, and a 2, and I only have +1 to accuracy, so I'm pretty sure that doesn't beat that.
Yeah, that does not beat a 16.
I don't even need to do the math on that one.
That's okay. First try with the bow. You know what? You get better eventually.
I can't believe I haven't used that this whole time.
Next up is Kayn.
Cool. Yeah, Kayn, I think Kayn is going to see what the best way to, I think, target the supports holding up the heart would be.
Yeah. I mean, it's about 30 feet up, and probably a ranged attack would be your most successful. If you could take out more than one, that'd be ideal as well.
You said the supports are like both like naturally forming elements like rock and such, but also flesh, right?
So the supports are almost like tendons to a heart. They're almost like veins that are supporting this thing. It's not rock anymore. They appear like golden in that they are glowing, but they also like they have a like an undulation to them. They're flexing and tightening with every beat of the heart. They also shift slightly.
Okay. Would they be considered? Actually, you know what? No. I'm trying to think. Of what I have might affect it, considering it's flesh at the same time, not exactly essentially flesh, not rock. So
it's a little bit of both. If you got something that can affect rock, we can call it that. This is not a natural creature by any means.
No, yeah, definitely. I think I'm gonna try and use my Elder's exhalations to target one of the supports, just to see if I can just at least weaken it, if not outright destroy it.
Sure.
Alright, so let's roll that. I can target number 13 for that. So let's see what we got. That's 6, 4, 5, 15, 19, plus 4 harness. 23.
23 will absolutely hit. What's your damage for that?
Damage is going to be 5 corruption damage, targeting a point within medium range. So anything within 4 feet of that point. So it's basically to center it on like one of the supports, basically.
Sure. Yeah, you watch as that, like right at the connection point where it's thinnest, weakest, it severs, and all of that gold liquid just goes spraying as it does, and now the heart somewhat dangling by the 3 extra supports, and the creature lets out a horrific scream. Anything else for your turn?
No. You gotta deal with the damage that comes with that, but I think nothing else aside from that.
Okay. Lucy, it is your turn.
Okay, to clarify, just because my internet was doing funky things, so I didn't exactly hear what the deal is going on with Naomi. Is Naomi to 0?
Naomi is at 1 hit point.
And
Perfect.
then I got healed a little bit, so I'm at 6.
Yeah, they're at 6 now.
Yes.
Excellent, perfect. I would like to use commanding in battle. Once per
Okay.
turn, you can sacrifice an action to immediately give one non-terrified or close to death crewmate within medium range an action. The receiving crewmate immediately takes an action of their choice. Naomi? I think you hear from like I'm still I imagine while this is going on, just like Lucy's just been nonstop talking to this thing, trying to keep its attention as best she can. And you hear, after all, I mean, look at my crewmate Naomi. I mean, she can kick ass like a motherfucker. And that'll be my commanding in battle command. And so Naomi, you get to take a free action of your choice.
Naomi, if I could offer something a little extra spicy with this. You've like just healed up a little bit. You almost got smashed. The mouth of this thing opens, and within its maw, you see Sanford like reaching out. He is rough and goopy, like digested somewhat, but he reaches out a hand and goes, "It's so much better in here. If you would like to have your moment."
Goopier.
Do you think you're being convincing right now? And I'm gonna use my once per combat ability, assassinate.
Okay.
Ooh.
I get some good damage if I can hit, and I have a reroll, so.
So I think you got
But
a
I am
match.
going for like specifically him.
Okay, yeah.
What did we say? We know the AC, right? What was it?
16.
16.
16 is
Okay.
your evasion score, yeah.
I hit with a 20.
You do.
And then I get, it's gonna be the standard 6 damage that my knife does, and then I get an extra 2d6.
Okay.
Drop my die. No, I won't use a reroll on this. That's risky. That's an extra 9 slashing.
Okay. You slash and like he just disassembles inside of this thing's mouth, and the blade slices a little bit at like the inner lining as well. And then this creature kind of like lurches back. I'm almost like seeing like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's just like all goop and like tentacles, and then like a little angry mouth. Yeah, no, significant damage to it. Very well done. Lucy, anything else for your turn?
Yeah. I mean, Captain Lark et al. Is within medium range. So
yeah, at all, I think is a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Let's try and keel haul him. Why not?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, that ended up working out. That's fine. Okay, so that makes my 17. And now I gotta roll 4d6 vicious damage. Alright. Okay. Again, I'm just talking and rambling, and another just twitch of my head, and this spell takes effect to deal 19 vicious damage on
19, very
Captain
nice.
Lark.
Okay. Right.
And that will be it for my turn, because I did not take I think I have to, in order for Holds a Grudge, I think I have to actually do like an
extra
and
slashing
you take
attack.
the attack action.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
those are
so
both
I think
spells.
I actually have to
Those are both spells.
Oh, commanding in battle is my captain ability.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't sound like an actual attack action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of reading that as like I have to like attack with a sword or a knife or something.
For sure. I was interpreting it the same way. Okay. It is the Betentacled Fiend's turn once again. That is going to be a 21 to hit against Lucy, as it is going to try another swallow attack. So, Lucy, you're going to take 10 slicing damage, and I need a savvy save. Target number is 12 for that, please.
Eh. Okay, thank God. I got a 15.
Okay. Why do
Yes.
you refuse to join?
Because I don't want to. Did you say that was crushing damage?
The
Or
swallow
slicing.
is slicing. It is 10 slicing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Instead, then, it is going to go for one of your pirates. It's going to do 2 swallow attacks. So it'll go for one of your crewmates then. Let's see. Yeah, that's a 21. And then... Okay. I'll roll for the pirates to see if they get a savvy. They'll have one set. They got an 11. So they're 1 short. You watch as one of your crewmates is lifted into the air and flung into the jaws of this thing, and they snap like a bear trap. And the screams are muffled from within as this thing begins to kind of pulse and undulate, and you can see the heart beating a little bit faster above. Naomi, it is your turn.
Okay. I have no range to help with the whole heart suspension thing, so good luck with that. If I don't move at all, can I attack twice in a turn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, Naomi's not being as strategic as I think she normally would be in a fight where she's kind of like in and out and moving around a lot. She's just there and attacking until it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an 18 will hit. That, and then another 6. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I can hit consistently. And another 20 and another 6 damage.
Okay. Yeah, whittling it down
hit.
for sure. Yeah, you can. Okay. Kayn, it is your turn.
Right, yeah. Seeing how it's going with the suspension, he's just gonna keep going, honestly.
Go for it.
If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. So, another Eldritch Exhalations for him.
And I'm so sorry. I skipped Araceli. We'll, if you don't mind, Val, we'll have King go and then you. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All 4s plus 4, 20.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, I'll target the second suspension, center right on it, and that's another 5 damage to it.
Great. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
No. Again, he's dealing with the damage. His marks are getting larger and larger. But yeah, 6 health.
Okay. I believe you can take 2 spell attacks if you would like. You do get 2 actions per turn.
I do.
It
That's
doesn't kill you.
well. In that
Making me
case,
heal you constantly.
And
How
Araceli, you
else
do
are
have
we
2
gonna-
rerolls. Kayn, you have 2 rerolls.
I do,
Naomi, you
yeah.
have 2 rerolls, yeah.
Well, now that you brought that up, Eric, I would be a fool to refuse that.
I was gonna say you can't take them with you, so
yeah, let's do it again.
okay.
So anyway, I started blasting. Right. So Eldritch Exhalations number 3, and I am absolute. Wait, actually, let me double check the math. 12. That's a reroll. I'm absolutely burning a reroll on that.
Okay.
Much better. Right. 6 plus 5, 11, plus 3, 14, plus 2, 16, plus 4, again, 20.
Yeah. Okay. So having severed 2 more, it's now kind of like dangling. It's swinging almost pendulum-like, and you see that it's really straining. This creature is absolutely screaming in pain. It is looking pretty rough at this point. Great. Then we go to Araceli.
Okay, so I'm torn between being very offensive or healing. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It is my job to keep y'all alive, but also I'm a tank main and I don't heal ever, so I think I'll go ahead and I'll be good. Who's got the lowest health? All of y'all are low. Who's the lowest?
Kayn's at 4.
I think it's
Yeah, it's
Kayn.
gonna be one of them.
Okay, Naomi, how many were you at? You're at 6? And Kayn's at 4. And you take 2 HP damage per time you do this.
Per time I do Eldritch Exhalations, yeah.
Okay, I'll heal you. That's definitely bad.
Listen, it's getting the job done.
Oh yeah, you got it. You go. You do it. I believe in you. Enough to give you 1 healing. I'm
Love
gonna reroll
that.
this. Hold on. I have 2 rerolls.
Well, we have
Let's
rerolls
say-
for Band-Aid. Oh, you poor dumb baby. Please take a Band-Aid.
So I'll use 1 reroll and give you that's 6 points of health. So that's
Okay.
much better.
Yes,
Go for it.
absolutely.
Don't die. Remind me how many. So I can do 1 spell.
I think you can do 2 spells. I don't really see anything in there.
Okay.
Nothing in the rule says a dog can't play basketball. Weirdly enough, the second time I've said that this weekend. Yeah, we're right at the end. Let's say we can do 2 spells.
Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna. Y'all are not dead anymore, so I'm gonna be a little offensive now. I'm gonna do my interweaving elder signs over the last. There's 1 more like heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tendy.
Strand, tendon, yeah.
Yes, tendy, a little tendy, you know.
Tendy.
Little tendy, little heart tendy.
Little heart tendy,
Eldritch Tendies.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, tender hearts.
Give me those little eldritch tendies. Anyway, that is 5, 2 5s,
Mm-hmm.
4, and then 3 plus 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will just put that thing like right over it.
So what is the damage? I think it's way more than enough, but
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
very
assume it's more
overkill.
than 5, which is what we've been kind of going with.
Let me go through the Control F function. There we go. It does 15 burning damage.
Yeah. That tendy severs, and the heart comes crashing down with this massive splorch into the sand. It splashes all of this golden liquid all over the place, and at this point, Lucy, I want you to have your turn, but the environment around you begins to vibrate, rumble. It feels like you were in an earthquake as everything around you is now shaking, and this creature is absolutely screaming. In fact, the entire cavern around you seems to be screaming. Lucy, what would you like to do?
How bad is Captain Lark at all?
This thing is looking incredibly rough. Even worse now.
Okay, great. I'm going to, as a free action, just yell out, "Move!" And I'm going to keel haul him again, or at least I'm going to try to.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, for that nudge because I needed it. Okay, so goes off. We're gonna do 16 vicious damage.
way more than you needed. This thing had 3 hit points left. Why don't you describe what this looks like?
So, again, keeping lines and veils in mind, as I said, I yell out, run, and then jutting my chin a final time. I'm going to take a couple steps back as I do so, and I just imagine, because, like, keel hauling is a boat term. I know that.
It is.
I don't remember what it actually means, but I know it's a boat term.
It's pretty awful. It's a form of pirate torture. It involves a person being...
Okay, well, we don't have to describe it. We'll just say that that's what happens to this thing.
Description not super, like, in-depth. You basically tie a rope all the way around a ship, like, down the middle of it, and then you attach a person to that rope, and you basically drag them across the barnacles, and you keep just spinning them around, and it's pretty awful because barnacles are very sharp. And they're also going underwater as they do that. It's pretty awful.
Okay, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just say that the darn thing like goes and just
We can
deflates?
say that it does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you cast a spell on it. It begins to disassemble, disintegrate, it begins to deconstitute. And as it does, you see these tentacles reaching out back into the shadows all around, and it's trying to pull itself to some sort of safety as it is severing those it cannot hold itself together at this point, being made of so many different pieces, none of those pieces being strong enough individually to hold it together. It's a chain made of weak links, and it is struggling to keep itself at whole at this point. Again, the world around you rumbling and vibrating. The crewmates look to you and they say, Captain, you said run. Are we taking the damned heart with us?
Come back for it later.
All right, and they just go running. Out of
I will
combat
say
at this point.
before
Go ahead,
I
please.
run, is I
Yes.
will, as I'm running, drag my blade through the liquid gold.
Okay, you absolutely do so. Anything else anybody else wanted to do? Anything else anybody else wanted to do before running for the mouth of the cave?
Araceli just dip their hand in it to see if it gets rid of curse.
Yeah, you dip your hand in, and the black spot just looses, and that little arrowhead just is left floating in the liquid there, and your veins all just they fade immediately.
Just gonna motion to Naomi and stick your hand in it.
Naomi's not immediately looking. While she was attacking this thing, between her last turn and this turn,
Yeah.
one of the crew got sucked in. She
Yeah.
just wants to open the mouth up and get the guy out. If he was just sucked in. No, not good.
He's not gettable. No.
Yeah, she like opens it and she's like, ugh.
So
So
it
gross.
does 10 points of damage, and pirates have 10 points of health. He got numbed.
Ugh. Well, I
Yeah.
tried.
You know what?
Dip your hand in the goop.
There was an attempt. Yeah, she gets up and swooshes her hand through the gross goo and goes running.
Listen, should we all be so lucky to have like glittery gold, like, I don't know. It's you swoosh your hand through and the black piece comes out, and you all go running for the mouth of the cave. Since we are at our 3 hours, I'm going to narrate this last bit. So you all run for the mouth of the cave, the light growing ever closer and closer, that literal light at the end of the tunnel. All about you, with the earthquake that you're now being subject to, it is difficult keeping your footing, yet in the sand you can dig in just enough. You see that some of your crewmates are stumbling, and the others are helping them to their feet. All about you, that stone wall where the rib cage was set into begins to loosen and even somewhat liquefy, and you can see it defossilizing. You can see it reconstituting into flesh, and from it you can see angler men are pulling themselves forth like parasites, pulling themselves forth from this thing, and they are immediately coming to the ground, their webbed hands, clawed hands, touching the sand and chasing after you. You make it to your rowboats, and with them following close behind, you make it out to sea just as the lower jaw of this creature shuts, and you could look back to see flesh covering this thing. Not human flesh. It is slimy and rubbery, and this thing takes on the form of a gargantuan anglerman, that hole in the center of its skull elongating and stretching out with a great light, much like the anglermen, the much smaller versions that you saw. And this island places its hands down on either side and lifts itself up and lets out a great mighty roar, this jaw with these massive teeth unhinging and roaring into the sky. And then as it lurches up, all of the sand and rock and plants all just shedding from its form, it leans down and opens that jaw, and ships begin to spill forth from it. And you see that they are shrouded in blackness, and they are whole once again. And as you make it to your ship, you can see that the crew that it is crewed by are those of the damned. And you are able to make it back to your ship just in time to raise anchor, turn back into a sea that is now devoid of storm, overcast all the same, but with cursed ships at your stern. You make for the Brethren Court, hoping to whatever powers have gotten you this far, that they will not follow you. And for the first 15, 30 minutes, the first hour, spyglasses are pointed to your stern, watching those ships, and they don't seem to be following you. But as you make it back for the Brethren Court, you now know that whatever that thing is out. Sorry, just hit something and scared all my animals. You know that whatever that thing is still out there. You know that all of those ships are still out there. Whatever has happened on this Isle of the Damned, no longer an isle in and of itself, has made the seas all the more cursed than they were before. So perhaps you really are the Cursed Captains of Cthulhu.
Ah, he said it.
I said the thing at the thing.
Title of the show.
That's it. I did it. Yeah. And that means we're done. So thank you so much for joining us for the finale of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. This has been a Sword and Key game in support of Lambda Legal Defense Fund. Thank you for all of the donations. I believe this is the last game, the last stream for Lambda Legal Defense Fund. So thank you so much for having raised $1,305.69. Nice. Actually, you have until I'm done talking. Well, all of us are done talking to still donate, so you can still get it a little bit higher. I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves, and then once they are done, we're going to close we just did close the giveaway. So congratulations, Merm, for winning the giveaway there. I will reach out to you in the very near future, and all of the other winners to send you your PDF codes. And then I'll send instructions on that too. Black Cats Gaming has been very generous, so it's basically a discount code that you use to get a free PDF copy of Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. So let's go ahead and go around and have those other people say more about themselves. Let's see. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out.
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Patange. I use he, him pronouns. I have been playing Kayn, our lovely, less done with everything, Riven. But yeah, I'm a voice actor, tokusatsu lover, and TTRPG AP performer. You can find me on neon_Raiden on Twitter, or Neon Raiden at BlueSky, no underscore that one. Like I said earlier, I'm a big tokusatsu fan, so any Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, I love all of that. I love talking about it, and yeah, I also like doing voice acting stuff. So yeah, I don't have any other projects that I'm going to be in the future at the moment. But if you do feel like you like what you saw when I during these streams, and if you think I'd be a good fit, feel free to send me your cast of hell if you have one. So yeah.
Amazing. Yes, I cannot recommend enough any of these lovely people, but Abhishek, especially for any of your games. Incredible performers all around. You would be very lucky to have them in your games. I absolutely promise that. Next up, we have Dex.
Hi, I'm Dex, she, her pronouns. I have been Captain Lucy for this mini-series for Lambda Legal, and I'm the game master and producer of Roads Uncharted. It's the first ever longest-running 3-time award-nominated Genesis RPG actual play podcast. We are in season 6 right now, and we just recorded a super like awesome episode yesterday that'll be coming out in the next few weeks. So, you got time to catch up. I also am currently running a Star Wars charity mini-series on my channel, twitch.tv/DexR19. We just had our first session on Wednesday, and that is to benefit the Lupus Foundation of America. Most of my channel stuff is to deal with charity. We've got some stuff coming up for Extra Life in August, so go ahead and give me a follow and follow me on BlueSky, on GMDAX, at GMDAX on BlueSky. Good Lord, it's been a long day to find out what else I'm up to and when casting calls go out.
Fantastic. I will say right now, Dax is one of my favorite GMs. Please do yourself a favor, listen to any of the amazing games that she's part of. The podcast is absolutely incredible. All of the streams, absolutely top tier. Thank you, Dax. Next up, we have Val.
Oh, hi, that's me. I am Val, or Space Valkyries. I've been playing Araceli for this, and I kind of love them a lot. So, like, can we please maybe have a sequel someday, possibly? Who knows?
I think they didn't die.
They didn't. Nobody died. I'm just saying.
I'll try harder next time.
Oh, okay,
Hey.
cool. Anyway, you can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet at Space Valkyries. Right now, in terms of projects, I'm trying to finish up a novel. I also do sci-fi fantasy writing. If you would like to read my short stories, you can find my stuff under the pen name VM Ayala. And I will be on a Monster of the Week mini-series every other Tuesday over at Live from the Apocalypse. Or at the Apocalypse? They're cool. I always screw the... It's fine. Anyway. And then I might be back here sooner rather than later. Who knows?
You will be, I guarantee it. And then we have Amaya.
I've been Amaya, she, her. I've played Naomi, the Chaos Scoundrel. Just a little bit more traumatized than before, but it's fine, we lived. I go by at Amaya is okay on everything. I mostly post art and do art-related TRPG stuff. Most active on my Instagram. I released a comic inspired by one of my D&D games, which is really cool. You can read it for free on my website, which is linked everywhere. And my next project's coming up. I, in the next few weeks, am going to be helping with a Kickstarter for a D&D campaign in a box, where you can actually physically buy it, and I'll be doing all the art for it, which is really cool. I'll be doing like the box art, and the character art, and the spell cards, and everything, and I'm really excited. And then sometime in August, I will also be releasing a short train heist comic as part of like a bigger zine that's going to be published that I think you can also order online. More details on that to come. Lots of exciting things. Yay!
Amazing. And Amaya is also the artist I want to credit with the incredible artwork that you can see on the screen here. Not even something that was requested, but so incredibly appreciated. It's absolutely amazing. Please check out Amaya, and I don't know, like, pay her for art and stuff. Like, I highly recommend you do. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you to these wonderful people. Yes, please cast them in your games. Please follow them in their spaces. Please, support their Ko-Fi's, coffees, all that kind of stuff, and watch the stuff that they do, because I guarantee it's going to be amazing. I am Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I've been your GM for this game and many games here on Sword and Key, because I am the sword half of Sword and Key. Sword is my real last name. Yes, it's awesome. No, you can't have it. Let's see. For all of Sword and Key stuff, you can go to beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can go to our Discord. It's the second link down. The first link is our Twitch. If you're watching us live, you're already there. Give us a follow, all that kind of stuff. But the second link is Discord. Check out our Discord hangout. Talk to cool folks about cool things. Also, check out our applications when they go live. There is an application out right now, only on the Discord. It'll go to our socials later, for a Magnus Archives TTRPG game from Monty Cook. It's being run by Mare, so do yourself a favor and apply it for that. Magnus Archives, I'm a big fan, so I'm very excited to watch the amazing cast that we end up having for that and see what they decide on. There's no solid plot on it, because the great thing about the game is, if you've listened to Magnus Archives, there's different entities, and you kind of the players get to decide what sort of entity they are going to be investigating. It's pretty great. You also on Beacons can see our socials. That's Instagram and BlueSky. Again, that application will be posted to those socials here in the near future. We also on Beacons have some of our affiliates. We're affiliates with a number of great organizations and companies like Hit Point Press, makers of Humblewood, Islands of Sina Una, Griffin Saddleback Books, tons of minis and music licenses and plush and comics, as well as TTRPG stuff. So check them out. Use our affiliate link if you do. Also affiliates with Hit Point Press, Eldritch Foundry. They make custom minis, so no matter how weird and wild, normal and mild your TTRPG character might be, you can make a mini for them. And use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there. We're also affiliates with Long Dog Dice. The amazing Jen makes beautiful dice sets like these. Oh, they're gorgeous. And you can get your perfect dice set there. Included, these are the official Horizons Call dice. They're actually currently the official Sword and Key dice because they have the little logo on the D6, which is pretty cool. So check out Long Dog Dice. Use code Sword Key for 10% off your first purchase. And if you really like the Horizons Call dice, you can pre-order a set for your own at this time. Other stuff, we have all of our charitable organizations listed on our beacons as well. Right now it's Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We'll still have the Lambda Legal open for a few more days, so there's still a great time to donate to that. Mondays, Fragments of Loss raises money for Trans Lifeline. That link is on there. And then very soon we'll be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. So we will have a link for that up here shortly as well. Looking to our calendar and kind of all that comes next, we've got some really cool stuff coming up. Obviously, Pride Month is ending here soon, so a lot of our Pride Month games have either wrapped up or are wrapping up literally as I speak. But tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, like I mentioned, Fragments of Loss, that is a Rangers of Broken World game. It is a fantastic cast. They are raising money for Trans Lifeline. Check them out. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time is Gate Night. That's where LD Shadow and I play Baldur's Gate 3, currently the only video game streamed here on Sword and Key. On Saturdays is the Return of Horizons Call. That is our 3 p.m. Pacific time nautical campaign. So check that out. It's going to be our next regular episode. We've had kind of some spin-off and some character development episodes the past couple of weeks. Let's see. Starting on July 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, that'll be Sundays, is Blood on the Lens. It is a horror slasher type game, TTRPG, that will be run by Anik. Great cast for that. Let's see. I think the other big thing that I want to announce is SummerSlam. We are doing a D&D Battle Royale with previously featured D&D characters from this channel. I have a roster of 16 characters that are going to duke it out in groups of 4, with the 4 finalists of those 4 initial rounds going up against each other in the finals. So that is going to start July 19th, and with the final game being August 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Saturdays. So 19th, 26th of July, and then the 2nd, 9th, and 16th of August. So we will have 1 fight per Saturday. It's really great. I have the roster all set up now. I just need to get the promotional stuff out for it. So keep an eye out. That is what's going to be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. The other thing I want to talk about is podcast Monster Crush. It's a podcast that I do with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth and how smoochable they are. If you like chthonic monsters, we actually do a yearly bracket of Lovecraftian monsters. It is our in the March of Madness. So we do that in March. We did have an episode come out in March, but we had 2 years of it. If you want to check those out, or if you like monsters in general, check out that podcast wherever podcasts are found. That's pretty much it for us tonight. Congratulations to the winners of the free PDF copies. Congratulations to all of you for succeeding and living in this game. And thank you to all of you in the audience for joining us and for raising some amazing money for an amazing cause. I think we actually bumped up a couple of bucks. So $1,307.69 at the end of this stream. Thank you all. There's still time to donate after this game ends. So if you want to put your money towards a great cause, should you be willing and able, always a great time. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. We will see you next time, hopefully for something else. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of others. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariners.